Good morning, all. Today we're going to see a topic rabies. So it's one of the important topic. So rabies virus causes a rapidly progressive acute infectious disease of the central nervous system in humans and animals transmitted from another rabid animals. That means your animal which is already infected by the rabies virus, which can able to transfer the infection from one host to another host. Host is nothing but a humans or animals. Almost always fatal. Fatal is a highly infectious and which can cause a death. So it is a bullet-shaped virus. It is about a 75 nanometer width and 180 nanometer in length, and it is a enveloped virus that is enveloped by the lipid, which contains a hemagglutinin peplomyia spikes, glycoprotein G or embedded. Envelope is lined in the internal by the layer of matrix protein. So peplomyia spikes is nothing but as you know nowadays like a COVID virus, it's had some spike. Like that, envelope virus also like this lipid envelope hemoglobin have some spikes. So it contains a glycoprotein. So this is the shape of the virus. That is a morphology. This is a bullet-shaped virus. You can see all the various shapes. This everything is bullet-shaped virus, rabies virus, and you can see the spikes that is said to be the peplomyia. So what is the difference between glycoprotein G and nucleoprotein? That is a nucleic acid which contains a protein, that is nucleoprotein. So these are the peplomyia or the spikes embedded in the envelope. So this glycoprotein G present in the envelope. Nucleoprotein capsid protein associated with the viral RNA. That this is the nucleoprotein present inside the virus. So species specific. So this glycoprotein G is a very specific for the specific species. But nucleoprotein is a common. It is a genus specific. It is a common for this group of viruses. Role in pathogenesis. It binds to the actin acetylcholine receptors in neural tissues, which is the first step of pathogenesis. So this is acetylcholine receptor, which is present in the neurotransmitter region, which is actin junction, where the information is passed by the acetylcholine. So this binding protein, it's mainly acts as pathogenesis on the receptors. So that is the main causes to main reason to cause the infection and rabies in the central nervous system. So nucleoprotein doesn't have any role in pathogenesis. The nucleoprotein does not cause any infectious state, but it is a protein present inside the rabies virus. Diagnostic role, antibody detection. It is used in hemagglutination incubation test. Obsolete now to detect the antibody in a patient's serum. So we can detect the glycoprotein G in a patient. There is a patient infected with the rabies. We can be able to identify the antibodies against the glycoprotein G. Nucleic acid antigen detection in a patient serum by the direct IF test. So even though the nucleoprotein is not antigenic, but we can able to detect the nucleoprotein antigen in the serum of in the patient serum if the patient infected with the rabies virus. Role in immunity. It is a neutralizing antibodies which are protective in nature. So once the patient got the infection, obviously the antibody will get generated. So antibodies are not protective. So here in nucleoprotein, antibodies are not protective. Role in vaccination. So vaccination major role produced, that is against the glycoprotein G. So it is the most effective and which can protein use in our society. So in nucleic acid protein, the vaccination is not preferred and it's not useful because it's not a pathogen. Street versus fixed virus. That is rabies virus, which is get predominantly in the street versus fixed virus. Street viruses freshly isolated strain in the laboratory that mimic the wild virus, shows long and variable incubation periods and produce a intracytoplasmic inclusion bodies. Intracytoplasmic inclusion bodies is nothing but Inclusion bodies is when the viruses got involved in the cells. It forms some inclusion bodies. Inclusion bodies in the sense like it's like it clumps the nearby cells. It can destruct the cells like the types. That is said to be the inclusion bodies. Fixed virus. When a street viruses are propagated in rabbits by the serial brain-to-brain passage, they lose certain properties and become a fixed strains. Do not produce the inclusion bodies, do not multiply in extraneural tissues, do not infect the salivary glands, multiply rapidly, incubation period is shortened 4 to 6 days. So this is a comparative, this is various strains of the street virus and the fixed virus. So in street virus, it can produce inclusion bodies and it will multiply faster, so like that. But in fixed virus, it is not produce any inclusion bodies and it's multiply rapidly. Incubation period is 4 to 6 days. Now, next we're going to see about the pathogenesis. So, what are the pathogenesis? It can cause bite following a deep bite or scratch by the infected animal with rabies. Okay, so either it could be the rabbit, either or a dog or a cat. The host which is got infected by the rabies virus can able to transfer the infection to the another host. So either by it's a deep bite, whether it is we getting a bite or a scratch. Rabid dogs account for a 99% of the cases. Okay, so mostly dog can be involved. Bats are also now the major role in America. Okay, so bats also leads to got an infection of rabies and they leads to get transfer the infection. Other bites such as a fox, raccoons, skunks, jackals, mongooses, and other wild carnivores, those is also responsible to transfer the infections. So non-bite exposure, direct contact with the saliva of an infected animal with mucosa or fresh skin wound. Inhalation of a virus containing aerosols, cornea or other organ transplantation. So these are the other routes where the organism get transferred other than a bite. So here it's mentioned very clearly the numbering and the alphabets, which are the parts got involved and how the organism reaches the brain. So first transmitted to the human by bite of the infected dog. So this is part one. So from this, it's once the dog bites, okay, replicate locally muscle or connective tissue. Either you just think this is a arm muscle or for leg muscle. So once the dog has been bitten, the virus get entered and it's get multiply inside the skeletal muscle. After the multiplication, the virus binds to the acetylcholine receptor at a neuromuscular junction. Okay, that's the third step. Then there's centripetal spread along with the motor nerves. So with the help of the motor nerves, it reaches the brain. So fifth point here, ascends to the upward to the CNS. Okay, then sixth point, disseminate to the hippocampus and the cerebellum. Okay, so seventh, centrifugal spread along with the nerves. So these are the points. So which are the parts can be affected? So you can see here salivary gland, then skin, eye, corneal, etc. Brain. So major part is brain. So this is the pathway how the organism reaches the from skeletal muscle to the central nervous system. Incubation period. How long does the organism require to reach a brain or to produce an infection? After entering into body, how long the organism require to cause an infection? Prolonged and variable, ranges from 1 week to 90 weeks. Incubation period inversely related to the distance of the virus to travel from the site of the inoculation to the CNS. Incubation period is very particular based on the location, site of the location where the organism get entered. If the organism got inoculated in the sense with the help of a dog and help of the dog in the sense, if the dog bitten at the foot, okay, so the organism takes very long time to reach a CNS. If the dog bitten at the neck part, the organism reaches the brain very soon. Okay, so that it means incubation period is inversely related to the distance from the virus to travel from the site of inoculation to the CNS. Hence, it is usually shorter in children than in adults. Bite on a head, neck, upper limb than legs. Short people. So that is another difficulty, those who had a short. Manifestation or incubation period. Short people, severe laceration, presence of genetic predisposition, low host immunity, viral or high dose of inoculation from the site of inoculation to CNS, and increased virulence of the strain. So these are the factors can enhance the viral infection very soon. Clinical spectrum. Prodromal phase, acute neurological phase, coma, and death. These are the three major stages the organism can involve and causes a pathogenesis. Prodromal stage is the beginning stage where the organism have been reaches at the inoculation site and by the acetylcholine and in the root of neural junctions. Okay, so with the help of the nerves, the organism started to elevate from the inoculated site to CNS. That is prodromal phase. Acute neurological phase is the organism reaches the CNS and started to cause an infection. Coma and death is the next stage where the organism started to get multiply and makes the patient to get coma and death. So laboratory diagnosis of rabies. Okay, antigen detection from hair follicles at nape of the neck and from corneal smear by direct IF test. IF is nothing but immunofluorescence test. Antigen detection from the hair follicles at the nape of the neck and from the corneal smear. So these are the samples we can collect: hair follicles, corneal smears, which can be able to identify with the help of direct immunofluorescence test. We can detect the antigen, that is especially the glycoprotein structure of the rabies virus. Viral isolation by mouse inoculation, cell line inoculation, mouse neuroblastoma and BHK cell line. So with the help of the cell line, we can able to inoculate the virus and we can cultivate the virus. So antibody detection from the smear and CSF by MNT, RFFIT, and FAVIN and IFP. These are nothing but the antibody detection by the immunofluorescence by direct detection by using the fluorescence technique or immunochromatographic techniques. Viral RNA detection by RT-PCR. RT-PCR is a very known real-time PCR. It's a gold standard method to detection of the viral RNA genetic material. Naegeli body detection in a histopathological stains of the brain biopsies, hippocampus for post-mortem diagnosis of rabies. And once the patient died, we can able to see the Naegeli bodies. Naegeli bodies is nothing but inclusion bodies. Okay, already I told inclusion bodies that involved in a clumping of the cells nearby or a lysis of the cell, etc. Like the cell said to be a Naegeli bodies. So we can see the picture. This is the Naegeli bodies. So this is single cell. The single cell inside you can see the this is viral particle brain biopsy with the hematoxin eosin stain. This is said to be the Naegeli bodies. Treatment of rabies. There is no specific treatment for rabies. There is no specific treatment for rabies. First initial stage, first we need to prevention, then the treatment. The symptomatic treatment may prolong life, but the outcome is almost a fatal. Okay, so if the dog has been symptomatic, then the symptomatic instance, if the dog has been infected from the rabies, then it could be the problem. If the dog is not infected with the rabies, even though after bitten, we can able to observe the dog whether it has been showing any rabies infection or not. Isolation. Patient should be isolated in a quiet room, protected as far as possible from the external stimuli, bright light, noise, water, or a cold air, which can be precipitate spasm. Okay, so patient should be isolated. Meantime, the patient may show the hydrophobia. Hydrophobia is fear of water, fear of light. So, and that should be get avoided. Treatment of rabies. Sedatives and anesthetic drug morphines can be used. Hydration and urination should be properly maintained. So regular intake of water and the urination should be maintained. prognosis. Mortality in rabies is almost 100%. Okay, so we can able to prevent, we can able to treat it properly from the rabies infection. Preventable by the administration of a post-exposure therapy during the earlier incubation period. There are 7 well-documented cases who survived from the rabies, mostly because of the taking rabies vaccine in an earlier incubation period. So before, even though after the vital period of the after the infected period of the patient is not infected by the rabies virus by the dog, but before incubation, initiation of the incubation, the patient have been taken the rabies vaccine. So what makes the it's purely depends on the site of the inoculation. If the dog has been bitten at the foot level, the virus takes a prolonged time to reach its CNS. That duration is sufficient to take a patient to take a rabies virus and to develop the antibody. So this is one of the major tricky part. It's purely depends on the site of the inoculation of the viral pathogen. WHO guidelines. Rabies is prevented by the providing prophylactic measure, post-exposure prophylaxis and pre-exposure prophylaxis. WHO given a guidance of the prophylaxis. PEP. For individual not received PEP or previously. Okay, PEP consists of 3 components: local wound care, rabies vaccine, rabies immunoglobulins. Okay, local wound care is if the patient have been infected by the or bitten by the rabies infected dog, that local wound care should be given. How? By proper washing with the soaps with the once the dog have been bitten with an immediate reaction, immediate activity. So then the incubation period, before the incubation period, we can treat with the rabies vaccine. So after that, we have to, if the patient is infected with the more, we can give the rabies immunoglobulins. So they have been classified into 3 categories. Category of risk, category 1, there is no risk, touching or feeding of animals, licking or intact skin. Types of exposure. Recommended prophylaxis, no treatment if history is reliable. Okay, if the dog is not infected or you have shown that the dog is not infected with the rabies virus, then there is no treatment required for rabies infection. Category 2, minor risk, minor scratching or abrasion without bleeding or nibbling of uncovered skin. If you had a open wound infection, then the dog has been made a minor scratch or by the licking, that may have chances of organism get entered into the bloodstream. So wound management, rabies vaccine, observe the dog for 10 days. So we need to observe the dog for 10 days for whether the dog has been showing any rabies infection or not. Category 3, that is a major category, single or multiple transdermal bites by oozing of blood, licking on broken skin, fresh wounds or mucous membrane, direct contact with the infected dog. So this is a major risk, that is a category 3, wound management, rabies immunoglobulins, rabies vaccines, observes the dogs for 10 days. So wound management, as I told before, first step is we need to wash the hand with the help of the soaps. So that could be a better wound management with the immediate reaction we should do. Local wound care, how to do the physical cleansing, chemical inactivation, suturing. Okay, so based on the wound level, we need to add physical cleansing by adding a water and soap. We need to clean the water area first. That is the bitten area first. Chemical inactivated by adding the antiseptics, providone, iodine, or alcohol can be used to inactivate the residual viruses. Then suturing causes a local tissue damage, help in spreading of the virus. Therefore, suturing should be avoided. Local wound care continues. Other general measures including debridement of devitalized tissue, tetanus prophylaxis, antibiotic treatment to prevent a secondary bacterial infection. Do not touch the wounds with a bare hand. With the help of the clear unsterile hand, we should not touch the wound. Do not apply irritant like a soil, oil, lime, herbal charts, betel leaves, etc. Rabies vaccine. Types of vaccine. Cell line derived non-neural vaccines are recommended. 3 vaccines are available. Purified chick embryo vaccine prepared from a chick fibroblast cell line. Purified vero cell vaccine prepared from vero cell line. Then human diploid cell vaccine derived from WI38 human embryonic lung fibroblast cell line. So these are the 3 types of vaccine available in the market. So all the 3 are effective. We can add this, we can give the prophylaxis for the patients. Routine intradermal or intramuscular we can take. The vaccine should be introduced via intradermal or intramuscular. Site, deltoid area of the arm for an adult and anterior lateral area of the thigh for children less than 2 years. Never administered in a gluteal region. Okay, so it's very clearly they mentioned they should must introduce in the skeletal muscle, not in the muscle bundle. So dose, one ID dose is 0.1 ml of a vaccine and one IM dose is considered as an entire vial of vaccine irrespective of the vial size. So it depends on the patient, it depends on the vial, we can be able to administer the dose. Schedule of PPE regimen, that is prophylaxis of the for rabies virus. ID regimens are a cost-effective dose sparing and time sparing preferred over intramuscular, intradermal and intramuscular. ID is intradermal, IM is intramuscular regimens. Intradermal PEP regimen 222, that is a 2-side intradermal vaccine is given to days 0, 3 and 7. Okay. Intramuscular PPE regimen, totally 4 doses are given. 2 schedules are available. One side, that is intramuscular vaccine, days 0, 3, 7 and 4th dose between 14 to 28, or second dose intramuscular vaccine given on a day 0, 1 side intramuscular on day 7 and 21. So probably, so 0 days, 3rd day, these vaccines are mainly for the newborns, like a 0 days or 3rd day or 7th day, and we can give it the 14th to the 28th. So interchanges, changes in vaccine products and the route during the same PPE courses are acceptable if unavoidable to ensure PEP courses completion. Okay, so interchange of the doses can be we can do, but it's up to the up to certain limit. RAG provides a passive immunization by the neutralizing the virus. RAG is nothing but we administering the straight away introducing the antibodies against the rabies virus. So timely once as soon as possible and not beyond the day 7 after the first dose of vaccine. Preparation human RAG or equine RAG. So equine it's like a monkey. Then human RAG, those who are already infected by the rabies virus, from there we can able to extract the antibodies. Dose, the maximum dose is a 20 IU or a 40 IU per kg body weight. So based on the patient, based on the body weight, we can administer the antibody. Then the need a local wound care and accelerated vaccine regimen consists of any of the following 3 schedules. So first of all, the area should be get sterilized before administering the vaccine. First site intradermal vaccine given on a day 0 and 3, or one site intramuscular vaccine given on days 0 and 3, or 4th site intradermal vaccine given on a day 0, only left and right deltoid, thigh or suprascapular area, not any other parts. Pre-exposure prophylaxis, that is PrEP, is recommended in a 2 condition for individual at a higher occupational risk. That means the person who having the pet shop, the person who having the more dogs in their home, so they are high risk occupational risk. For subpopulation in a remote endemic area, pre-exposure prophylaxis can be given to individual of all the ages. Schedule 2 schedules are available. 2 site intradermal vaccine given on a day 0 and 7, 1 site intramuscular vaccine given on day 0 and 7. Booster dose should be provided. Provide lifetime protection. No need to take pre-EP booster periodically. Epidemiology. Rabies is a enzoonotic and epizoonotic disease of both wild and domestic animal. That is, either it could be in city region or out of the city region, but it is a zoonotic. What is zoonotic? Infection spreads from animals to humans. That is source. Infected dog source of infection in 99% of cases. Virus prevents its saliva from 3 to 4 days before the onset of a symptom till the death of a dog. Age, though all ages are affected, children age 5 to 15 years are at a greater risk. Rabies in dog. So how the dogs behave if the rabies virus is got infected in a dog? How the dogs behaves? Control of rabies in dogs. Most important steps to prevent a rabies is clinical features. Incubation period varies 3 to 8 weeks. Like humans, two types of manifestation can be seen. One is a furious rabies and it's a dumb or paralytic rabies. Furious rabies is nothing like a mad dog. The dog is very furious. They can't able to stay in a certain place, and they are very. It's become like a mad dog. It's ready to bite the whoever person hearing it. Okay, then it's a dump or paralysis rabies. The dog may get paralyzed and sit down in a specific area. Control of rabies in dog. Most logically and cost-effective approach for control of urban rabies is eliminating of the stray dogs and a mass immunization of at least 80% dog in an area. So stray dogs should be removed and should be domestic dogs should be treated. All the domestic dogs should be treated with the vaccination to prevent the further spread. Immunization of dogs. All the dogs should receive a primary immunization at a 3 to 4 months of age, followed by the booster as per the type of vaccine used. Vaccines commonly used in dogs are BPL inactivated neural vaccine, oral recombinant glycoprotein vaccine. So this is a common vaccine given for a dogs. So that's all end of the session. So I hope everyone have learned get a much knowledge in the rabies virus. Thank you.